This video is brought to you by Incogni. Today, Zelenskyy tries to dismiss his top commander. A new bill is proposed in the US to ban deepfake porn, and XL Bully dogs are banned in the UK. From TLDR News, this is your daily briefing for Thursday, the 1st of February, 2024. On Monday, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy attempted to remove his top general, Commander-in-Chief Valery Zaluzhny, from his post. According to reports, Zelenskyy simply asked Zaluzhny to resign, promising him the role of defense advisor instead. Zaluzhny reportedly refused to accept this offer. Questions are now being asked about exactly what Zelenskyy does next and whether he will go as far as sacking his commander-in-chief. Perhaps Zelenskyy was planning on sacking Zaluzhny were he to refuse to resign. However, it seems that Zelenskyy may now be concerned about potential public backlash to this decision. Publicly, both Zelenskyy's spokesperson and the Ukrainian Defense Ministry denied reports of Zaluzhny's impending dismissal, saying, "Dear journalists, we immediately answer everyone. No, this is not true." However, the media appear to think that a sacking could still be on the cards, and even have the names of some potential successors. One of the names floated is Kirilo Budanov, the current head of the Defense Intelligence Directorate. At only 38 years old, he's seen as a representative of a new generation of military leaders. He's also known for being a close ally of President Zelenskyy. Another potential successor is Alexander Syrskyi, the current commander of the Ukrainian land forces. When Ukraine was first invaded, he was the man in charge of defending Kiev, and was even awarded the Hero of Ukraine medal for his efforts. Later in the war, he led the successful Kharkiv counteroffensive. Which of these men will replace Zaluzhny if he is indeed sacked is as yet unknown. All of the speculation, though, comes following increased speculation of a rift forming between Zelenskyy and Zaluzhny. In the last year, the highly anticipated Ukrainian counteroffensive failed to sever the land bridge to the occupied peninsula of Crimea. This was at roughly the same time that Zaluzhny claimed that the war in Ukraine had reached a stalemate. Clearly, frustration at the lack of progress set in amongst the Ukrainian top brass, with some of the top presidential advisors claiming that Zaluzhny had eased the work of the aggressor. There's more on the way, but be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to make the daily briefing part of your daily routine, or just search for us on your podcast app to listen along. In US news, the spread of fake AI-generated pornographic images of Taylor Swift on X earlier this week has prompted a new bill criminalizing deepfake porn. The measure would allow the victims of sexually explicit digital forgeries to seek a civil penalty against anyone who produced or possessed the images with the intent to distribute them. Known as the 2024 Defiance Act, the bill was introduced on Tuesday by a bipartisan group of senators including Dick Durbin, the US Senator Majority Whip, Lindsey Graham, Amy Klobuchar, and Josh Hawley. Republican Hawley said, "Nobody, neither celebrities nor ordinary Americans, should ever have to find themselves featured in AI pornography. Innocent people have a right to defend their reputations and hold perpetrators accountable in court." The bill comes after AI-generated sexualized images of Taylor Swift at NFL games racked up millions of views on X over the weekend. The search term Taylor Swift was even banned for a period while the images, which were reportedly produced using Microsoft Designer, were taken down. The Associated Press has published details of a secret memo regarding a covert operation by the US Drug Enforcement Agency in Venezuela back in 2018. According to the article, the US sent undercover agents to secretly build drug trafficking cases against dozens of people, including Venezuelan President Maduro. The document was dated during the height of Trump's maximum pressure campaign to remove Maduro from power. However, the legality of the operation has been called into question, and the US itself even acknowledged it was a potential violation of international law. The memo includes a line saying it is necessary to conduct this operation unilaterally and without notifying Venezuelan officials. The revelation shows how far the DEA was willing to go to tackle the so-called war on drugs in Venezuela, which banned US drug agents nearly 2 decades ago. However, it also risks worsening already tense relations between the US and Maduro's socialist government. In recent days, Maduro has accused the DEA and CIA of trying to destabilize Venezuela, although he added that he doesn't think that President Biden is involved. The DEA and US Justice Department declined to answer questions from the AP about the memo. Today, the new rules banning XL bully dogs has come into force in England. Rishi Sunak announced the ban back in September last year, following some high-profile news reports of deaths caused by the dog. In fact, it's been reported that between 2001 and 2021, there was an average of 3 fatalities a year. In 2022, though, this stepped up, and there were 10 deaths related to XL bullies, 4 of which were children. The new ban makes it illegal to own an XL bully without an exemption certificate. Even if the owner does have this certificate, though, they're still required to keep the dog on a lead and keep it muzzled in public. The government claims that it received more than 35,000 applications for this exemption. Owners opting not to apply for this exemption could take their vet to a registered vet and have them euthanised by the end of January, and were able to receive £200 compensation for doing so. Anyone found to have an unregistered XL bully can have the dog seized by the police and are subject to a criminal record and an unlimited fine. This is all in addition to the first part of the ban, which was introduced at the end of December, which made it illegal to sell, give away, abandon or breed an XL bully. In the final uplifting story today, we discuss condors. This week, Oregon Zoo has released 7 of the endangered birds into the wild, after having been hatched and raised at the zoo. The birds were given a so-called soft release, meaning that their pens were opened and they could leave in their own time. It's estimated that there are only around 500 of the birds in the world, a figure that has actually gone up recently as a result of recovery programs like that of Oregon Zoo. Now, while you've been watching this video, you might not realise that shady forces are working in the background to collect personal data from various sites and bundle it all together ready to sell on to a third party. Now, these data brokers can sell this bundle of information about you to anyone from a company to an online criminal. Now, while you might assume that you're safe online, perhaps you change your password regularly, or perhaps you're a hawk and always uncheck that little box that signs you up to annoying newsletters. Unfortunately, this doesn't completely save you. Companies that hold your data can still fall victim to a data breach, meaning that these data brokers can still compile information about you to sell on to others. Now, this is where our sponsor Incogni comes in. They reach out to these data brokers on your behalf, request that your data is removed, and deal with any problems that might arrive. In fact, they're tenacious and will put in multiple data removal requests even after your data's been removed to make sure that it doesn't go back on the market. So create an account with our link in the description, grant Incogni the ability to work on your behalf, and sit back as they make you safer. Plus, by using our link, you'll get an exclusive 60% off an annual Incogni plan. Thanks for checking it out, and thanks for Incogni for sponsoring this video.